Is it me? Or is it really possible that Drew Smyly can win the Cy Young this year? What is going on, everyone? The Philadelphia Phillies beat the San Francisco Giants in Citizens Bank Park 4-2, and the storyline coming out of this bad boy was clearly Drew Smyly. He was so good today. 7 scoreless innings, struck out 5. You look at the Giants offensively, they did not produce any solid contact all night long. Drew Smyly was literally fantastic today. Tremendous. I'm stunned. I'm stunned that he has been brought into this starting rotation and has produced to this level. I could have never imagined it in a million years. This was a difference maker. Bringing in a lefty like Drew Smyly, well, okay, let's not go too far, but the last 2 starts have been really smooth out of him, and if he can continue to pitch to this degree, then he will be 100% what we've been missing in this rotation outside of Aaron Nola. I'm just really thrilled and proud of him because it's tough. He's been up and down. He's had a lot of emotional roller coaster rides in his career, and he found a spot right now where we really need help, and he is producing. He's producing. Let's see if he can manage to continue this stretch, because if he can do this, if he can duplicate what he's doing so far this season with his 2 starts with the Phillies, we're in business. We're in business. That is a key piece to what this team needs to make a push in the back end of this season. We had a 4-0 lead in this baseball game. In the 4th inning, Franco gets an RBI ground out. Adam Haseley gets an RBI double. We're up 2-0. Then Rhys Hoskins in the 5th hits a 2-run bomb. What a smooth swing out of Rhys Hoskins. Arguably the best swing I've seen him take this season. It was so beautiful to watch. The sound coming off the bat might have even been even more beautiful. Oh, perfect, just perfect. If you drew up a home run dinger, that's the way you draw it up when it comes to execution and sound. And I loved it. I literally loved it. But even though it was 4-0, the Phillies should have probably had a bigger lead. In the 1st and the 3rd and the 6th, we left men on. In the 2nd and 5th, we left men on, but it's hard to really fault the Phillies at that point because Drew Smyly was the one who was up to bat to produce. It sucks because in the 5th inning, actually, it was bases loaded for Drew Smyly. And keep in mind, this guy's been in the AL his entire career, so he comes to the NL, he's got bases loaded, 2 outs, and he actually tries to bunt because he really can't do anything else. I guess you figure, hey, put the ball in play, and maybe they make an error if you hustle down to first base. You know, you have to try. But the Phillies did have a chance to knock in runs. And not just a chance, a ton of chances to make the lead bigger than just 4-0. Luckily, it didn't come back to bite us. And listen, I understand. You're not going to get a hit every single time a player is in scoring position. That's not how baseball works. But I'm just saying, early in this game, it was the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, 3 innings right in a row with men in scoring position. Couldn't execute it all, and finally in the 4th, we had a chance and we knocked it in. But I look at those, and throughout the game, you're really hoping that it doesn't come back to bite you, and luckily it didn't today. But we had the 4-0 lead. In the 8th inning, after Drew Smyly's fantastic 7, Nick Pivetta comes out of the bullpen, and this was a chance for him to really solidify that bullpen spot after having a couple good outings in a row. Ooh, we might have got an old Nick Pivetta because he allowed 2 solo shots, and just like that, the lead is cut in half, and Hector Neris needs to come in the 9th inning with a bigger spot. I literally forgot to talk about this, and it was so big and crucial to me. I went back, recorded, and I'm throwing this in the video. When Nick Pivetta left the mound, he forgot how many outs there were. And it blows my mind. We're talking about Major League Baseball. We're talking about the top of the top, the best players in the world. You don't see them forgetting how many outs that there are in baseball. Why is it that the Philadelphia Phillies this season just forget? We've seen it happen earlier this year when we were getting our butts whooped. We saw it again today when we were actually up. What are we doing? Like, I have to think at some point this goes on the culture. This goes on Gabe Kapler. This goes in the clubhouse. And the mentality set every single day. Because there's no way that this many players forget how many outs there are. If it happens once in a season, in 5 years, it happens one time. Okay, you know what? I can see how. All right? I mean, I guess I can see how. But now you're talking multiple times in the same season? It just doesn't make sense. Realistically, not even in the same season. We're talking within a month, 3 weeks. What is happening? Now I'll bring it back to where we were in the video before I put this clip in. Now, luckily, Hector Neris comes in and does his job, and we win ourselves the ball game. But Nick Pivetta came out and was Nick Pivetta that we've seen in the past, allowing home runs and missing locations. There was one, JT Realmuto was set up on the complete opposite side of the plate, and he leaves it right over to the middle in, and it gets crushed, it gets murdered. You hear some boos rain down. Yeah, there's nothing better than hearing Nick Pivetta boos, in my opinion. I love it. Offensively, this Phillies team today, 11 hits. Gene Segura, 3 for 5. Are we getting a hot streak out of Gene Segura? It's possible. Bryce Harper, 3 walks, so finds a way to get on base, and one of those walks was in a crucial moment. It's right before Rhys Hoskins hit the 2-run bomb, so he worked his walk, and then Rhys Hoskins was able to cash in on it. Cesar, 2 hits. JT Realmuto, 2 hits. Adam Haseley, 2 hits as well. He's looking a little bit more comfortable at the plate, and, you know, that's obviously going to happen as he gains more experience, as he gets more time, as he's playing every day. He's starting to look like he understands what he's doing a little bit. So Scott Kingery goes 0 for 5 and 3 strikeouts. In the first inning, on the first pitch, he actually had a really hard hit ball to right field, which was somewhat close to going out. But other than that, he didn't really have solid at-bats. So three strikeouts for him. And it doesn't look like he's overmatched, though. Last year with Scott Kingery, it looked like he was overmatched, overpowered, had no structure at all when he was at the plate. Sometimes he gives you these 0 for 5, 0 for 4 nights, but it's not as if he's overpowered, right? It's just a tough day at the office or a tough little stretch, to be completely honest with you. We have Vin Velasquez on the mound tomorrow because the Cubs and the Brewers, is it the Cubs and the Brewers that play each other tonight? It's not the Cardinals, right? Cubs, Brewers, Cardinals? I forget which two of the... Who are we tied with in the wild card right now? Regardless, one of those teams has to lose because they're playing each other. So we will be tied for the second wild card spot after that game is over. It was also reported that Vargas is taking Eflin's spot. So Eflin will be going to the bullpen, and Vargas is taking his spot. My initial reaction to the Vargas trade, obviously, wasn't a big fan. The more you think about it, still not a big fan from the mindset of if this is the only move the Phillies upper management is going to make in regards to pitching, starting pitching, yeah, it bothers me. It bothers me because it's not big enough. But it's better than what Zach Eflin's been giving you. So, with that being said, Eflin is the one that gets knocked. And I guess they're proud of what they've seen out of Vin Velasquez so far. And in reality, Velasquez has been better in terms of Vince Velasquez. Not big picture, good, elite pitcher in the MLB. But for Vin Velasquez, he's been better for himself personally. So I guess they're going to keep continuing that and maybe building confidence for him. That's the key. The key is confidence, and you can even see that out of Drew Smyly, tying it back into this game. Drew Smyly is confident out there right now, and he's working with that off-speed pitch. It's very interesting to see. He's really keeping the offense, the opposing team's offense, on their toes, mixing it up a lot, and I'm really loving Drew Smyly right now. Now we have ourselves 2 lefty pitchers in the starting rotation. You just don't see that here in Philadelphia. Constantly righties getting thrown out there. Righties and righties and righties. Well, now you're talking 2 lefties with Vargas and and Drew Smyly. I almost said Cliff Lee because you keep hearing all this Cliff Lee comparison when it comes to the mechanics and how it looks, right? I'll be honest with you, I do see it a little bit. I hate to admit it, and I'm not comparing their two careers, right? They're not even close to the same thing, but when you look at it with the eye, it's just a tad. You'd be lying if you said you can't see it just a little bit. It was a good win. 4-2, they come out, they take care of business. The Giants' offense, they looked weak today. They were off. Their pitching, also off. Starting pitching, the Giants, it didn't go well for them. They've been a hot baseball team in the month of July. There's no denying that. Are they for real, or did they just have a hot stretch? We'll see. We'll see if they can bounce back. We can see if the Giants can bounce back tomorrow. See if it was just a really hot peak, or if they're legit. But tomorrow, Vinny V has to take the mound and lead this baseball team. He's got to put this team in a position to win. One thing that was interesting, though, Gabe Kapler got interviewed after the game, and they asked about the trade deadline, and he said, to be completely honest with you, I haven't even thought about it. And he got a follow-up question saying, Gabe, how can you not even think about it? You're literally in a wild card race in the trade deadline tomorrow. How can you not even think about it? And I get it. The GM is the one that makes the moves. So Gabe's counter argument was, I control the team. I can only control what I can control. And to an extent, he's right. But to say you never even thought about it, come on now. You got to think about it. We'll see. We'll see what happens because the time is running out here, and I'm curious to see if Klentak and this upper management is serious about this baseball team or not. If they're serious about a run. To me, I'm afraid. I'm afraid that they don't want to make any sort of noise outside of pretty much what they've done so far. And I don't know if it's going to be enough. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts on this game, on Drew Smyly, on Rhys Hoskins, on Bryce Harper's night, Scott Kingery struggling a little bit, leaving men on base, and I've been really brutal and I've been harsh on JT Realmuto and Rhys Hoskins over the last week or two because they need to start producing more. In those moments, they were up to bat and they weren't able to produce, but JT had 2 hits. He sparked that one inning where we scored runs. Rhys obviously had the 2-run bomb. So I understand. All right, I understand. They're not going to get a hit every single time they're up to bat. But you think about what the 4th hole hitter's job is to do, what the 5th hole hitter's job is supposed to do. That's where they got to execute. And when we were losing baseball games, I did call them out. And look at them producing more, and it seems like we're winning more baseball games. So, is there a correlation behind that? It seems like there is. Because we're starting to produce a little bit more. It looks like we're winning more baseball games. And they're starting to put it together a little bit more. So, let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.